As we look at various scenarios to keep safe, one thing to think about is what if somebody leapt out of a car and tried to grab us by our arm, or from an alleyway, or wherever? What can we do? Well, the power of the circle, again, is very effective. So we're now going to look at some simple techniques you could apply. What I'd like to do now, I'd like to, with yourself, Sandra, I'm just going to grab your wrist, okay? So grab your wrist here. So you haven't done this self-defence before, but what would you normally do? What would your instincts tell you to do?
Pull away, maybe.
Okay, all right, okay, pull away, yes. This is what most people do. But of course, as you can see, it was drawing us in towards each other. So that actually isn't the best if we're trying to manage our boundary. Let's have a look at the boundary management again. So if we were to shake hands, how do you do? Very nice to meet you. Okay, very nice to meet you. Can you see the distance? This is what I would say would be more or less a safe distance. And it's about 1.5 lengths. So this is managing my boundary. Once you let somebody come inside that boundary, that's when you could be sort of compromising your safety. So we need to think about what we can do to achieve that. But if somebody does grab, so I'm going to grab you again, what I'm going to now show Sandra is how she can use the power of the circle. So as soon as I've grabbed, can you keep your fingers straight, make a circle, actually make it against the thumb so you can see. So she goes against the thumb and she breaks my grip, okay? And then she can make a defensive move and escape, okay? So we're going to try that again. So I'm going to, with my right hand, grab Sandra's right hand. Oh my goodness me, that was quick. Yeah, the martial arts was very good then. Okay, so it's very simple, it's very effective. And as some of you that may have done martial arts, say for karate, for example, Aikido, excellent martial arts systems, and there are many out there, but it can take many months or years to become very proficient. So what we want to do in this series is take the best elements, especially for us ladies and vulnerable people, what we can do very effectively to escape and keep ourselves safe. So now I'm going to challenge Sandra with another grab, but this time we're going to go to her other wrist. Let's see if you can remember what we did. So I grab. Oh yes, very effective, okay. And she intuitively went against the thumb, okay. So going against the thumb, if you do it slowly please Sandra, it's easier to disengage, okay. But if Sandra went the other way, can you keep your fingers quite open? That puts the energy flow. She goes this way. Now, it's not so easy to break, but if she carries on and twists it round, then she could do another technique, which I will now show on Sandra. Right, so from here, I'm going to go against the little finger, if you like. So it's against the wrist. As I do so, I'm going to grab the hand and do this action. Can you feel that coming on? So this is a bit more advanced, but from here, I would do a lock and I could do a restrain and walk Sandra over to the far corner for a cup of tea. So it's not that going that way isn't correct, it's just that you'd apply a different type of technique and you would need more practice, okay? We're now going to look at what happens if somebody tries to attack from the rear, okay? So we haven't been through this is all genuine, first time. Yes, Sandra? Okay. So I'm going to ask Sandra just to turn around for a minute and I'm just going to grab both of her wrists. What do you think you could do? Or what would you normally do in this sort of situation? Okay, right, she's trying to walk away, yes. Any other ideas? Oh, yes, that's one. That's a good one. That's a hard technique. That would work. Okay, right. So anything? Fly? No, can't fly. Okay, so I'm going to help here. All right. Okay. So it's not easy, is it?
No.
Okay. So what can we do? So I'm going to ask Sandra just to grab me. So if you grab me here, okay. Remember what I said about the circle. Yeah. So what we can do is actually come underneath this way, and this is a disengagement. But you can also then apply an arm lock, okay. This is a little bit more advanced, but you can see there are things we can do to get out of those situations. So it's still a circular action, but it's very effective. So I'm going to do the same to you now, and let's see how you can hopefully pick that up, okay. So I'm going to grab Sandra on the wrists. Oh, lovely, look at that. Okay, that's great. Then what would you do with this bit? The next sort of stage of disarming or putting a lock on is something we're going to go into more depth a little bit later on in the series. Okay, we're now going to look at grabs. Okay, so different parts of the body can be grabbed, and you can get neck grabs, hair grabs, arm, whatever. But we're going to have a look at what happens if somebody was to grab you. So I'm going to ask Sandra to turn on the side, well, face the front, and somebody could come out of a car, alleyway, or whatever, suddenly makes a grab. Okay, so what can Sandra do in this situation? What do you think you could do, Sandra? You could look at it, yes. Yes, you got the right idea. That was good. Good. Power of the circle. But if I was really holding on, right, it's going to be quite hard. So what can you do then? You had the right idea. Just make it bigger. Bigger. Really big. Yeah, okay, that's better. So if we just swap round. So, yes, so Sandra's grabbed me here. Big circle. Do you see the difference? And what I'm doing is a circle and a half, like we did with the wrist techniques. So again, if Sandra grabs big circle and a half, so keep the momentum going. Now, the only time you can have a problem is if you've got a woolly jumper. What can happen is if I grab this, now if you go make the circle, it can sometimes stay on, okay, because of the fabric. So what you can do then is go for the thumb and disengage this way, okay, because the circular motion isn't probably going to help with the grab. Unless you sort of catch it before they've actually made the contact. The quicker you move, the better the defensive action is. So something to practice. So we'll just go through that slowly. I'm just going to demonstrate on Sandra again. So I'm going to grab, going to imagine it isn't a woolly jumper. So it's nice, oh look at that, lovely. Big circle and a half. So it's hard for me to grab. Now we're going to imagine, well it is a woolly jumper. So I'm going to grab, and this time she's going to go for my hand or my thumb, go for my thumb. Okay, now that's a bit interesting. My thumb is here. Now, if I was doing this, you could go for my thumb there and pull down. Okay, because you can get left-handed attackers or the different sides of the body. But because I'm here, what Sandra could do is go over to my little finger and pull down. Yes, lovely. Okay, so what we're doing is looking at the weaknesses in the body and the hand, thumb and little finger. So whichever you can get access to and keep that power of the circle going. We're now going to look at what we can do against an attack around the throat. So, for example, if I was to make a grab here to Sandra, I mean, we did practice, but what did you do originally? You just tried to do the bang out the way. Okay, that could possibly work, because if I'm coming in and she did it now, yes, that stops the engagement. But usually they're quite quick, so once it's there, you need to actually go for the little finger. Yeah, go for the little finger, pull it round this way, or you can go for the thumb with the other hand if you like. Oh, I think that's going to be quite hard. Try that, because she's going against a hard point, okay? So ideally, yes, the thumb, okay. But if I really wanted to hold on, it's not going to work, is it? Right, okay. No. So what can us ladies do? I'm going to ask Sandra to grab my throat here. And what I'm going to do, if I go for the thumb here and just move it round, you can see I've taken complete control. I could go for the elbow as well. I could step in and bring this person down to the floor and do a full restrain. The thumb, the little finger are weak areas of the hand, and it doesn't matter if it's a big, strong person. If you go for those weak areas, using our strength, strong areas, usually we can try to disengage the attack. I'm going to ask Sandra to go for the throat again, and as she comes in to attack, I'm going to go, this hand is going for the thumb, this hand is going for the joint, and I'm going to use my body movement now. I just drop in, and this is very effective. So if the person is particularly big and strong, use your weight, okay? And then once you disengage, you could do whoop, one of those, and then you can run away. Well, sort of. I'm going to explain slowly what I just did. So Sandra's being the attacker to my throat, and again I have to move quickly because I don't want to pass out, because that's what's going to happen if the oxygen, the air supply is stopped. So by dropping my chin down and my body weight down, I'm actually making sure I can still breathe, and I'm putting pressure on the hand here using the palm heel. Got the thumb, this hand has gone straight to the elbow, then I'm going to drop down, And then what you can do if you felt this was a really serious attack, use the backhand knuckles or back fist towards the face area, particularly the nose, because as we know, if the eyes water, the nose bleeds. They can't see you to continue the assault, so we can escape. I'm going to attack Sandra now with both hands, and we're going to see what she's going to do, okay? So I'm going to come in and grab the jumper. Oh, don't worry, nothing ripped. But that was very good. So she went for my thumbs, the weak part of my hand, and pulled away. Okay, so let's just try that again. Imagine I've run in, I've grabbed, and she's done that. That's lovely. Now, the thing is, what's going to happen now? I could carry on with the attack. I could go for the throat or do a punch, whatever. So what do you think you would need to do then? Can you just show me? So I'm going to come in slow motion. You've done that. What do you think you could also do? Okay, she could do a kick, yes. But remember, there's also the palm hand. Very effective for ladies. Yes, you could do the reversed fist this way. So let's just try that. So we're going to do this slowly. I'm going to grab, thumb, move out the way, and straighten. Lovely, yes. And then escape. So remember, always know where your exit is, then you can escape that dangerous situation, and always report it and always advise somebody that this was a danger area. And if you can, if you don't know the person that's made the attack, if you can, try to remember as much about that person as you can to help the police find this person and stop him from doing, or her, doing the same to anyone else.